Hey everybody, this is David Wolf with Our Paramotor Nation. Welcome to tonight's pre-show. Hope you're having a fun time chatting with other paramotor enthusiasts watching. I'm going to take a quick second and just thank everybody who supports the show, whether you're a sponsor, whether you're a Patreon, whether you're doing a super chat during the show. And some people have asked me how to become a Patreon and how to do super chat, so I wanted to just talk about that very briefly. All you need to do is click on the little button down here at the bottom right of the screen. You can go ahead and pick out any dollar amount you want to donate to the show and leave a comment as well. I'll read it on the show for you. If you'd like to become a Patreon, you can go onto the website, ourparamotornation.com, and there's information to fill out there. All right, we're just going to start the show here in a few moments. I talked about the sponsors. Let's hear about them right now.
Welcome to Our Paramotor Nation. Tonight's show is sponsored by PPG Lights. Make one heck of an impression with countless patterns and colors on your paramotor. Lone Star Paramotor has become one of the most sought-out paramotor schools, offering foot launching and strike training classes and much more. Aviator Paramotor is a cornerstone for paramotor training while offering its students some of the top paramotor equipment. Fly PPG Discovered Power Paragliding has helped people from around the world get into our great sport. Wisconsin Flight Sports. They make it affordable and accessible for you to get your paramotor training. Charlie Soap, an all-natural laundry detergent and household cleaner, are like no other. Fly My PPG, offering a full-service paramotor training experience with 3 on-site instructors and limited class sizes. One-Up Adventures and ParamotorProps.com, sharing their passion for flight on adventures around the world. Skylab Paramotor SIV, teaching paramotor pilots of all skill levels collapse recovery and advanced maneuvers. JK Custom Cars is a father and daughter-run small business, taking your vision and immortalizing it forever. Paraswag USA, your complete power paragliding gear source. iFly Indiana provides USPPA certified power paragliding training on your equipment or on theirs for prices as low as $2,500. Wicked Wings logo can help you have a one-of-a-kind glider with one or multiple colors. Visit the Our Paramotor Nation website. Check out the upcoming shows, the past shows, and all of its sponsors. And now, let's get started with this episode of Our Paramotor Nation.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Our Paramotor Nation. This is David Wolf. Hope you guys had a wonderful, wonderful week. Got a couple quick updates for you. First of all, you just saw the sponsors, and as of this morning, we just had another school join us as a sponsor. I'm very, very excited to welcome Florida Flight Sports. PPG Gorillas Florida Flight Sports is now a sponsor of Our Paramotor Nation. Unfortunately, I didn't get him into the video early enough, but he wanted me just to remind everybody that this is year-round training at Florida Flight Sports, and as he calls it, the trike training headquarters of the universe. I don't know if he said universe, but the trike training headquarters, so check out Florida Flight Sports. We've got a great show. We have One-Up Adventures is going to be here as well as John Stidham is going to be joining us as well, which is a great opportunity for you to ask a lot of questions. If you've got any legal questions that you want to know about, you'll be able to ask. Make sure when you're asking a question, you start off with my name so that I can spot the question and recognize it. Now, we're going to do something a little bit differently tonight. I've got with me a guy who's, he says he's flown out. He is John Gasparra. What's up, Johnny boy? How you doing?
Hello, everybody. How's it going?
You flew a lot today, didn't you?
Yesterday, yep.
Yeah.
I'm almost flown out for a few days.
And by the way, thank you. I saw Mark Rogers. I did see here that the video is a little bit laggy. Hopefully it catches up here. We had a little bit of technical difficulties. We haven't had those in a while, but we do. But John, we're going to be doing something a little bit differently.
What's that, Dave?
We're going to be having the prize wheel. It has a list of 22 prizes from a lot of our sponsors. We actually had a prize that came in that was donated by Mark McElroy. He has a website called paralifeppg.com. And so we added to 2 donations that he made to the wheel. It's a t-shirt and a decal, and also a cup and a decal. So you can go to paralifeppg.com, check out what he has there. So we're going to be adding that. But here's how we're going to do this, John. Rather than spin the wheel for a name, we're going to spin a wheel for the prize, and this is how we're going to choose who wins the prize. You got to be active in the chat. John is doing a lot of monitoring of the chat, so if you're asking a question and he thinks, wow, this is a really great question, or maybe something comical, I don't know, John will be able to go ahead and recognize that he's going to choose his favorite. He's not going to, John, you're not going to play favorites, are you?
No, not at all.
All right, but he's going to choose his
someone creative with a good comment or something, yeah.
All right, that sounds cool. I like it. I like it a lot. So I always take your line. All right. Hey, I do want to.
Hey, Dave, I'm looking forward to the show. I want to hear about One Up Adventures.
We're gonna get to the
trip.
show. Are you done? If you're done
Okay.
talking, I do want to say thank you also to Mark Rogers, who made a $5 super chat donation right before the show started, as well as John Wayne. He also made a $10 donation. So thank you both for those super chat donations. I really appreciate it, guys. All right, let's get to our first guest. Let's start off with the man up in Minnesota, Noob Daddy, Kyle Mooney. What's up, Kyle? How are you, sir?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. So we're going to get to everybody in a second because, I mean, the big question was how did you enjoy Costa Rica? But let's get everybody else in here as well. Also, joining you in this trip to Costa Rica was Travis Burns and Allie Yancey, Andrea Yancey. Hi, guys.
Al.
Hi.
David, how are you?
I'm good, Travis. How are you?
Good.
Good. And not far behind Travis Burns is always John Stidham, who did not go to Costa Rica. And John is just here because he wants to answer questions. Right, John? How are you, John?
Hey, I'm doing great.
So since you didn't go,
Glad to be here.
I'm glad.
I don't really know why I'm here, but
I don't. I don't know either. Travis said I have to have him on, so I said okay. So, John, you've been doing a lot of flying. Why don't we start with you? Since, like you said, I don't know why you're here either. But tell us what you've been up to, John.
well, I've been flying my paramotor a lot. I just got back from Montana, where I was standing on a hill that Travis has stood on and told me that we could jump off of and ridge soar. And I dreamed about that quite a bit. But yeah, I've been flying a lot when I can. I flew this morning. I got home at 1 o'clock and went to sleep about 2 and got up at 5:30 and went to Lake Wales Airport and broke into Travis's hangar and flew.
There you go. Very nice. Very nice. All right, so we do have a couple quick questions. I did saw, I think Kelby Cox wanted to know, Travis Burns, do you still love him? Travis, do you still love Kelby?
I can't wait to see Kelby next week or 2 weeks
There you
at
go.
the Bad Apple.
There you go. All
And I
right.
think we just did a
Hey,
spotlight.
Travis. Hey, Allie. How you guys
He
doing?
knows we love him. What's up, Ripa?
All right. So the other question I saw in there was, is this my rear here? And yes, that was just a fake thing there. But I did want to say also thank you to Chris Fenimore, who made a, $5 donation. He says, One Up Adventures. Woohoo! All right. There you go. Very cool. All right. Let's get into this, guys. I want to talk about this this trip. Tell us about who wants to start? Tell us about the adventure trip. Travis, why don't you start with it?
Well, first, it was like the first trip we've been able to make in over a year due to COVID. So if you see the shirts, instead of Costa Rica 2021, they actually say COVID Rica 2021, which was Kyle's idea. So it was actually really, other than a few hoops that we had to jump through with the COVID virus and health questionnaires and tests before we could come home, it went really well. We had 2 groups of 4. So we did a back-to-back trip. Everybody had an awesome time. Everybody got to free fly. And most of them, it was their first time free flying. Everybody got to do lots of paramotoring inland and on the beach. We got to do ATV tours, had some amazing meals out, and just a really good time together.
So a couple questions already from the chat, just from that. So Mark H. wanted to know how much of your trip was paragliding and how much of it was paramotoring.
It was, I would say it was probably about 75% paramotor and 25% paragliding. We're taking people who have never paraglided typically. So we're taking them up to a hill that's about maybe, Kyle, 600 feet above the ground or so.
Yeah, it's about 600 feet. And a nice thing about like when we go there like that is like if everybody's like, we don't want a paramotor today. Okay, then we'll go free fly. If they're a little bit more experienced, we can take them to the highly advanced sites. But that's what's nice about the trips, especially Costa Rica, is like they can do both. Like Italy is just free flying.
Kyle, could you
And we
talk
can fly
about?
all day.
Kyle, can you talk
Just
about how you got all the equipment over to Costa Rica? That was another question that Mark H. wanted to know.
Yeah, we actually have a really good friend down there. His name is Gigi.
Mm-hmm.
He's been to the U.S. plenty of times, and we actually use his gear down there. So, because getting engines and stuff down there is rather expensive, especially if you're going to keep them there. Just because then it's gear that we would send down that we can't really bring back. I mean, you can bring it back. It's just a lot of work and costs a lot of money to do that. So we actually use Gigi's paramotors. Everybody brings their own wings and their helmets, but then after that, the motors are all down there ready to go. We show up, everything's ready to go.
Okay, Travis Alley, there's another question here. Who has been the biggest guest that has traveled on an adventure with One Up Adventures? I think maybe like the most profound.
No, I think it's a best guest.
I know who that is.
Oh, the best guest. Who has been your best guest?
Who asked that?
Well, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter who asked. Who is the best guest that gives the best hugs?
Dave Hughesman.
Best hug definitely going to be Todd Standard.
Wow, Todd Standard.
However, Lucian Sims has been on 3 trips with us now, so he's been on every single trip with one of us.
All right. So, Allie, there's a question for you. So, we're just talking about paragliding. This was paragliding, wasn't it?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that, because there is a question here. And this question comes from Chris Beeler. And Chris wants to know, are the trees as soft as they look? I'm not sure what that means. Maybe you can answer that.
Thanks, dude. So I'm thrilled to announce that, yes, I did my first paragliding. However, the first attempt was just that. I found out that day that everybody really cared about me because nobody recorded it. But I was upside down from the trees, hanging off the edge of the cliff. It was awesome. For me. It was great for me.
She was like, "I'm good."
Crazy. So how high off the ground were you when this happened?
At the 600 feet mark. It was great.
You were 600 feet high in a tree? No.
No, it like the hill's like slanted, and then there's a bunch of trees on top.
525 feet off.
She would have rolled 525 feet down a 60-degree slope.
Okay.
If she had fallen out of the tree.
It was fine.
All right.
I got her out of the tree.
Yeah, he did. We were both bleeding at the end of it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It's in the video.
Question from the chat: how long was the extraction?
About
10 minutes. Yeah, it wasn't very long. Like getting Allie out was easy. Yeah, and then the glider was like all up in a tree, and that's the hard part because I had to like scale down the mountain a little bit with the help of a friend who was there, and he was hanging on to me, and then I got into the tree, got the glider, and the glider was unscathed.
Wow.
And I looked at Allie and I was like, "Go again now."
You got
so the important part of this is, what did we learn? We learned don't hold brakes. It is not a freaking paramotor.
Wow.
And keep running.
And keep running, or have Kyle push you.
We did that the second time.
There are so many questions coming in from the chat. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up with this, but I'm going to try my best, okay? In fact, I think I'm just going to leave this on all of us on the screen for the most part of the show. So this is the next question. This comes in from Resurgence PPG. And the question here is landing on a car. See, Travis reads the questions. He starts giggling before I can even get them out of my mouth. Stop looking at the Stop it, Kyle. Stop looking at the chat. Okay. So the question here is landing on a car the new spot landing requirement to get the P2 rating. So before any of you answer this question, all right, I have a little video to show. Now, what many of you may not know is Kevin Woodard has been a guest on our show before. He's by far and away, and I'm going to say this amongst present company here, guys. Yes, Travis Al, best paramotor trainer in not just this world but the galaxy. He is the president, CEO. I hope he's watching the Galactic Powered Paragliding Association, because nobody else in the world could do something like this. Watch this video, everyone. Here he is coming in for his landing. This is the proper way to land. He'll tell you this. And he lands it on his feet, unscathed. Y'all were there. Tell us what was going on in your minds when you saw this craziness.
It was hilarious. I mean, I don't know how else to put that. He landed.
No,
And
there was a car alarm.
yeah,
on that car.
we didn't know. Well, actually, so I don't remember who was on the ground. I was still on the mountain. I hadn't flown yet. And then like we had no idea what went on. And they came up, the guys that were down there came up there just laughing. And we're like, they showed us the video and we're like, how many dents did you put in the rental?
The day before, the rental got broken into at the beach. They smashed the window as a smash and grab. So we already had a broken window, but that didn't set off the car alarm. Kevin Woodward landing on the car set off the car alarm.
That's a lot of man landing on a car.
No kidding. Is that common down there, Travis?
Landing on the car?
No.
Oh,
The smash and grab stuff.
You know what? I think it's common anywhere in a big city where you park your car where there's no lights and you leave a bunch of stuff in the back seat.
Yeah, okay.
So it was our fault.
Now let's get everybody involved in this conversation. John, the legalities of landing on a car. Is he liable? Does he have to pay for damages? Is it covered under the insurance? What's your thoughts on this, sir?
Yes, yes, and no. Yeah. If you land on someone's car and injure either the person or the car, it's going to be your fault and you're going to be liable for it. Yeah.
Well, you see, you got to understand too, the LZ is probably 400 acres of low grass.
it's small.
He could have landed anywhere within the 400 acres of low grass.
Oh, well, if it's that small, then I could see maybe there would be some sort of act of God excuse or something.
I think you all are reading this
Probably
all
is,
wrong.
probably.
We're talking about Kevin, the GPPA man. He did that on purpose. You guys think this was an accident. To land and use all your resources around you, don't you?
The GPPA landing requirements. Yes.
But realize the best part of that video is him talking to himself and explaining that there is
Oh,
a
God.
car.
Coming in fast.
Car.
That was awesome. All right, Chris Fenimore, just curious, how was the weather flying every day? How was the weather down there?
Oh, dude, it was awesome. We were starting to get into rainy season a little bit early this year, so we did have afternoon rain almost every day, but the weather was fantastic. And it was a little cooler than Florida, I think.
The rain makes for a perfect ATV tour.
It was fun.
All right, here's another question for you, Allie. Question is from Mark H. Did you find your passport? How did you lose it? Or did she really?
So see what had happened was I was that dumb person that left their back in the floorboard of the front seat. And it was the reason why they broke into the car. So no, I did not find my passport or anything else in that backpack. It was super helpful. I filed a really cheap looking passport that looked like it was printed in someone's basement, and it's already shipped off and ready to get a new one in 10 to 12 weeks.
There you go.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. Guys, I do understand that the video is lagging a lot. I do apologize for that this evening. I'm pretty much blaming it on Kyle Mooney at this point, and I think that's pretty fair to say.
I'm used to it.
We had 5 gliders in that same car that weren't touched. So we were lucky that all they took was Allie's backpack with her passport.
Because it's a really big paragliding community down there. We're really shocked they didn't take $30,000 worth of wings.
Now we know for the next time.
Yep.
And yeah, honestly, it could have just been the location, dark on the beach, no street lights, like Travis said. It was kind of like, hey, look, there's a car for you guys. If you want anything.
We're a bunch of gringos walking out, and I was like, hey, did you lock the car? That was the dumbest thing I could have possibly done.
All right, so Kelby Cox wants to know, John, are you going to be at Bad Apples? I guess this could be for either one of the two of you. John and John, Bad Apples.
I don't think it's for me, but go ahead.
Stidham, you're muted.
Stidham, you're muted.
Hey, Kelby.
Kind of
Hey, Kelby. I hope to be. I have some work things that are sort of up in the air. I'm not sure what my schedule is going to be, but yeah, I hope to make it to Bad Apples at least for one night.
We'll tell him to go.
Hope to see you there.
I'm going to ask you guys to go ahead. I'm going to step away. Travis, I'm going to let you talk about as far as what upcoming adventures. Is Italy in the works? Go ahead and talk about that for just a few moments. I'm going to see if I can fix this Wi-Fi real quick while you're doing that.
Okay.
All the kids are on iPads right now, and he's like, "Go get
Yeah.
off, get
I
off
was
the
going to
internet."
say he better go tell his wife to stop using the internet.
Right?
No, we're hoping. We are really, really hoping to do an Italy trip this fall. So the reason why in Europe the restrictions due to COVID, the quarantine requirements, you cannot travel to Europe without quarantining for 14 days. But they are working on something called a green sticker in your passport or a green visa. That means if you've been COVID vaccinated, you can go without quarantining. And I hope they take that away too. So right now we are tentatively planning on an Italy trip this fall to Lake Garda, which would be a free flight trip. Incredibly amazing. And it's even though that Cesena, Italy, is 6,000 feet above the LZ, which sounds really intimidating for somebody who's never free flown before. It's actually super beginner friendly. Very unique atmosphere there with the winds that come up the lake, and it creates a very stable atmosphere. There's not a lot of lift. There's not a lot of thermals, and it's a really very forgiving launch zone. So you can basically take off and land 10 times without falling into the trees on the edge of the cliff. So it'll probably even be good for Allie, I'm thinking.
If you hit the trees on the edge of the cliff, it's because you didn't have a glider and you rolled down the cliff.
Wow.
Allie, are they going to let you live this down?
No.
No.
Don't worry.
You know-
Don't worry. It's gonna
When I smacked into the ground, they never let me live that down.
Of course.
Be a badge of honor. You're really not a true paramotor pilot unless you've landed in a tree. So
Listen, I'm still trying to like get rid of scars from the trees. It's like total merit.